Hi everybody, this is Jeff Veale, the business guru, with another Stars on Spotlight. And today we've got a very interesting guest from my home country, back in Australia. Sadly, he lives in Victoria, and we all know the best thing that came out of Victoria is the Hume Highway.
Yep.
Man's name is Stephan
Garofalo.
Garofalo. He's going to interrupt me and tell me who he is. He just read this for me. He's right.
I
Here we
know.
go.
My name is Stephan Garofalo.
No, Stephan's a cool guy, as you can see. He's a founder of a company like Dick Tracy, 𝐒𝐿 IT. The 𝐒𝐿 IT. So if you want to know anything about cybersecurity, he's the man. And guys, it costs you nothing for a virtual cup of coffee. Just jump on the phone, ask him a question. He's a very helpful guy, even for me. He's very helpful. He's been in the industry for many, many years, too many to fucking tell you about. Anyway, brief description of his business. He's got his own team at IT, cybersecurity experts performing ongoing, adaptive and actionable risk identification and assessments to keep up with the evolving cybersecurity threats and solutions. And guys, they're out there every day. If you're not on top of it, you know, it may be too late one day. When you wake up, it may be too late. So get in early and have good cybersecurity from the word go. It's like having a lock on the door, guys.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you wouldn't leave your house open, you wouldn't leave your car open, so don't leave your computer open. Same deal. Okay, he works closely with his clients to boost IT security and compliance and ensures you have in place ongoing IT strategy that supports growth and key business objectives. Recommendations for hardware, software, applications that are continually being reviewed, updated and analyzed to meet individual requirements of the business. So that's important, guys. Hear what he just said, right? Key achievements or projects, none. Apparently he's done nothing, guys, because it's blank. He'll tell you about them all in a minute. He can't help himself. His personal motto, his philosophy is, I know it is, never give up. Never give the sucker an even break. Interesting facts about himself. He'll tell you all that in a minute. It's my great pleasure to introduce Stephan. Good afternoon. How are you, buddy?
Good afternoon, Jeffy. How you been, buddy?
I've been awesome. All the better for seeing you. Okay, let's get this show underway. Can you tell us about your journey? What inspired you to pursue your current career path, and where have you come from?
Well, look, I mean, oh God, it's a long little history.
You know my name. That's the main thing.
I started in hospitality and ended up in IT. So how's that for a bit of a curveball for you?
Yeah, well, I was in hospitality and I ended up as business guru. So there you go. I know the feeling.
Yeah, family businesses, pubs and everything, and then moved into transition to other bits, and then eventually ended up in telecommunications and IT, and then I was working for a guy who just did my head in, and I said, if I'm going to work for an idiot, it might as well be me. And all of a sudden, 𝐒𝐿 IT was born. Obviously, the story behind the name is a bit of an interesting one, which we'll do another time, but because it's a long-winded one and a bottle of scotch, but. It was great, and the motivation was, I look at all the IT companies in the area, and literally they are all do it my way or go the highway, and they just charge like raging bulls, and they really don't take the customer into consideration. They don't look at the customer's needs. They feel that they are the ones that, their stack, as what it's called, is the best and be all and end all.
Yeah, take it or leave it. Yep.
And at the end of the day, poor customers are just basically going to them and not knowing what they're doing, and where we are, and that's how we sort of launched. We said we're gonna make it basic.
Yeah. And guys, I'm a client of Stephan, and what he does, he tailor makes it to suit you, right? And nothing's too much trouble. He'll tailor make a program. He'll ask you a lot of questions, find out what your needs are, and tweak it accordingly. Tell me, what's been the most challenging aspect of your work, and how have you overcome it?
Challenging is actually, unfortunately, being in the world of cybersecurity, people still don't get it. If it's one of those things where they hear that the big banks and everything get busted and they have to do ransoms and stuff like that, but they never feel that it's going to happen to themselves.
Yes.
And there's a couple of people that I know, and then maybe as well, that recently lost $200,000 because they just looked at something. They left the door open, and they looked at they were doing a bank transfer from an email.
Wow.
And didn't even sort of think about it. And then when they rang to confirm the other and got it, they went, "What money are you talking about?" So,
Yeah,
you know,
unbelievable.
and it's as simple as clicking on the wrong link, clicking on the
Yeah,
wrong email.
I saw one. I saw one the other day, guys. It was something like Citibank, and then
Yeah,
they showed you Citibank. Then they showed you another one, and all it was the italic on the T was slightly different. It was the exact
I,
replica. The only thing different was the T. And only after they told you, did you? I studied it for half an hour and couldn't see anything
yeah.
wrong with it, right?
Well,
But
look,
then when they told you, it was scary stuff.
there's so many different angles on it. There's text messages now that come to you say, "Oh, we can't deliver your parcel to your home. Click on here, please."
Yeah.
You get emails from the bank now, text messages from the bank.
What about the
Please read.
scary? What about the scary one? You get messages in Stephan's voice, and you think it's him talking to you,
Well, that's
and it
look.
ain't.
That's
That's the new one,
welcome.
guys.
Welcome to AI. Welcome to dark space. It's they're now taking images of you and and basically creating CEOs and saying, "Hi, staff. We're going to make you all redundant. Thank you very much. See you later."
That'd be.
And the staff's like,
I might get one of
"What's
them.
going on?" You know. So this is the reality. It's a fake world at the moment.
Yes.
And it's very hard. I mean, like I know the paranoia sits in, but with ATMs and FPOS machines and all that, I change my credit cards every 6 months.
Yeah, and as you should, and your passwords. Yeah, all
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Tell us an important moment in your career that changed the direction and where you're going.
Oh, COVID.
Yeah, well, that changed it for a lot of us, didn't it? Cost me
Yeah.
20 million, but I'm still here, guys. They can't take your brain.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, like, when we started the business, it was September 2019, just before COVID, and we were looking extremely great and fantastic.
Yep.
And back then, being fairly new to the industry, we dipped our toes in the whole just like a managed services provider. So like have a remote help desk, have a couple of on-site techs, very basic level security stuff. And when COVID hit, it's like, what do we do now?
Yeah,
We
you can't go and see your client. Yeah.
can't go see new clients. How are we going to sort this out? And that pivot was very crucial. And unfortunately, I've seen a lot of businesses go belly up because they couldn't do that pivot. And for us, the pivot was we can't just be a remote help desk, basic security and on-site tech business anymore.
Yes.
So we had to then pivot it and have a look at it and go, okay, how do we change? How do we adapt? What have we got to do? Okay, we've got to remote work from home. We've got to secure the home environment. How do we train the staff to be compliant? So compliance was a big thing for us, where we really sat down and said, okay, if something happens, what's the problem? What's the way forward? How does if a breach happens, what do you do? How do the client get over that? How do they remediate it? Where does it go? And really it just boomed for us during that period where we became we call it an MSSP, which is a managed cybersecurity provider. So it was phenomenal for us, and that's where our growth has been in everywhere. And I do a lot of networking events, and when I go see people, they're like, "So what differentiates you from everyone else?" I know you're going to get hacked.
Can you tell us an important moment in your career that you believe changed the direction and what you were going?
Yeah, look, again, COVID, like we said, the whole
That's
COVID
a big one,
thing, and that's the biggest one for us. I mean, the direction change was from just a small MSP to now a national MSP.
Yeah. Thank
Clients,
goodness for Zoom, eh?
yeah, and having clients in the Philippines, just like you.
Yeah, that's the one. They're all over the world, and that's the thing, guys. You can reach clients all over the world with a click of a mouse. So there's no excuse. Don't think about your own backyard. Think about the world. And what I love about the world, guys, a US dollar is a US dollar. It's not 70 cents like an Australian dollar.
Exactly.
Right? In your opinion, Stephan, what are the key qualities and skills that have contributed to your success?
Focus.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Really, really focused on what I wanted to achieve. Really understand where I want to go.
Know the journey.
The journey, yeah, and map it out and reverse engineer everything. You want to be a $2 million company,
Yep.
then work out what it has to take to be a $2 million company. What's your target market? You know, is it a $10,000 a month client? Is it a $200 a month client? That, and then work backwards.
Yeah, and scale up. Scale up as you go, guys. Scale up. Start small. Don't be frightened to start small, but scale up every month. Test and measure. Test and measure.
But even look at what you want to, where you want to target it. So, you know, if you're going to go for an enterprise customer, that's going to be a 12-month cycle.
Yes, that's
and
right. Like the Titanic, moves slowly.
Exactly. And then there's going to be a backwards and forwards. Then there's going to be their expectations. And then it depends on how far you want to bend to accumulate their expectations. All right?
Yes, that's right.
I had a situation where I had to deal with Telstra. Yeah, I had a situation where I had to be at Telstra, and Telstra was like, "Oh, well, we invoice and pay 90 days." And I went, "No, bugger that off. You're going to pay me cash up front."
Yes.
And they ended up paying me cash up front because I put a proper case together for them to pay me up front.
And why? Yeah. Otherwise, if you want 90 days, let's readjust the pricing to make allowances for that 90 days.
Exactly. So
we're not a bank, guys. Don't forget that. We're not a bank, so don't act like a bank.
Exactly. So, and that's the thing. It's about planning and focus. And if you want to play in that enterprise space, don't expect the sale to drop in your lap straight away.
Yeah.
When you're talking,
I've had a client just recently, as a matter of fact, who wanted me to take it from 0 to 20 clients a week. And I said, I'm not Merlin the magician.
No.
I can get you up to 1 and 2 clients a week, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, and we will scale it depending on how much time we put in and how much money we spend. Because all these things come at a cost, guy. It's either time or money, sometimes both. All
exactly.
Right?
And that's what it is.
How do you stay motivated, buddy, and continue to innovate in your field? What keeps you going?
Oh, mate,
you've got to pay the rent.
Other than pay the rent, in my industry, everything evolves.
Yes.
At a really rapid rate. You know, it's not like it's not like hospitality. In hospitality, you got a schooner of beer, you got a pot of beer, you got a Scotch and Coke. There's no real big difference.
Yes.
All right. And in my industry, we started off, like I said, just, hello, help desk. Oh, you need a guy out on site? Yeah, I'll send some guy out on site. He'll be there tomorrow.
Yep.
But then evolving into where we are now, and now evolving into, so we do cybersecurity. Now we're evolving into penetration testing and vulnerability assessments of networks and infrastructure and staff. And we're working and then now we're evolving into compliance. We now are, and
that's the other thing, guys. The government comes into this as well. With compliance is a big thing, right? Yeah. If you don't comply, you could get a big smack one day. You might get an email or a letter in the mail telling you that please explain.
Exactly, and it's constantly evolving. It's constantly changing. So we are we never rest on our laurels. We have our what we call our stack, which is our products to secure customers. But we're not loyal to the vendors, we're loyal to the customers. So if tomorrow our antivirus, someone comes in with a better one, you'll switch over. We're ripping and replacing. We're changing straight away.
Absolutely.
So it's that constant looking for new products, which keeps me up at nights talking to guys.
And they are evolving, guys, and they can be evolving daily, weekly. Like a good one is like Google Ads, guys. You rely on SEO. You're on page 1 today, and you've got 20 staff. Tomorrow you're on page 9. You haven't got a job. There's no orders. Then what do?
Exactly.
Right? Okay. Can you tell us about a recent project or achievement that you're particularly proud of?
Look, there's a few of them, and I suppose. It doesn't always have to be the big one.
Yep.
That's the thing,
That's right. Mum and dad are just as important for you and people like you and I.
I mean, I had I'd go to a networking event. I'd keep bumping into this lovely lady, and one day she came up to me and she looks at me and she goes, "You scared the pants off me with this cybersecurity stuff. I went and got cybersecurity insurance. Can you do me a favor? Can you have a look and see if I am compliant for my cyber insurance?" I went, "I got no problem. Happy to do that."
Yes.
And so I went and had a chat with her. I had grabbed a cybersecurity policy, and I spoke to her broker. I got the list of questions that she answered, and it's literally 10 questions that you need to answer, and then they'll spit you out a report. And
Yes.
it was little, and it was the little things that she was not compliant on. And the biggest question is, and people are, unfortunately, people are stupid in the sense that they just, when they see a word, they go, yeah, that's me. And the question was, does the incumbent have an internal or external or embedded firewall and antivirus software? And she ticked yes.
Right.
Didn't say and or, it said and.
Yes.
And I went to her house and I went, where's your firewall?
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't have one. I said, well, there you go, you're not compliant.
Yeah. And you said you were.
And
So
you said you were.
and then
So,
they use it. And then they use that against you to deny you any claims, guys.
exactly.
So you wasted your time and money.
Exactly. So we went through her policy, spoke to her broker. They were charging her $2,000 for a $250,000 policy. And me knowing a little bit more than what she did, I spoke to her broker and I said, mate, I can go on to BizCover and get the same policy with better outcomes for $600.
Yes.
And they went, oh, no, you can't. I said, well, I've got to make the recommendations to the client.
Yeah, apples with apples, yeah.
And then shortly after, before I even got a chance to give her the quote, I gave her the report and I said I was going to give her some suggestions. And then she speaks to her IT guy, her policy guy, and they came back with a $700 policy for her instead of a $2,000 policy.
Yeah, amazing about that, isn't it?
It's amazing, you know. And for me, the wins and the pride there was after we did that, she's like, "You're my IT guy forever now."
Yes.
I will refer whatever clients to you without batting an eyelid. And you know, we're now doing. And she works from home. She's a single operator. We do all the cyber stuff. We're now about to take on her hosting and her web sites and all that type of stuff as well. We're doing everything to do with any form of IT for her. It's going to be funneled through us. And it just makes me proud that someone can put that much confidence.
That's right.
In us.
And to people they recommend, guys, if you do the job well, guys, the money will come. Don't worry about the money. The money takes care of itself, guys. Just do the job. Be like Stephan, have a passion for what you do. And it's quite obvious he's got a passion for that. Tell me, what did I ask you? What was the last one? What advice would you give someone aspiring to follow up in your footsteps? Don't do it. No, I'm kidding.
No, look, you want to get into IT. It's a mug's game, but it can be rewarding.
Yes.
You just gotta you just gotta do the hard yards. You know, you gotta don't expect customers. Look, you know, I'm a little bit different, I suppose. I decided on a whim to start a company, and I took the motto of the movie Field of Dreams. I said, build it and they will come.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I've done that.
That's my mentality. I just build it and they will come.
That's right. Do the right thing, and they hope. Send out roadmaps. Tell them put on free burgers. Do whatever it takes, guys. But
that's the thing, you know. But it's about, you know, when you are pushing shit uphill, let's say.
Yes.
You got to learn how to deviate.
Yeah.
You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's like, you know, like I said, we started off as a managed service provider, a help desk, for Christ's sake. We are now engrossed in cybersecurity, compliance, penetration testing, and the skies go on. The next stage for us is cloud-based services and AI and all that rubbish, which is just going to be another headache.
Dimension. Correct.
But it's another avenue forward. And the
Pandora's
thing is,
box.
Yeah, and cybersecurity is like that. It's like a tsunami. It's coming at everyone from every angle, and there's enough to go around. If you're passionate about it, and I see competitors of mine all the time, and they're like, "Oh, you know, I'm struggling." Why are you struggling? There's 26 million people in Australia. There's 4 million businesses here.
Yeah, that's right.
What's going on? Why can't you get customers? Oh, well, then I suggest I buy your business off you.
Yeah, very much. And looking ahead, what are your goals and aspirations for the future?
We're about to go into a bit of an acquisition mode. So we're looking at potentially over the next 12 months, I've got a goal of acquiring about 3 or 4 IT businesses. I've got some capital backers, which are I'm pitching them again this week, and hopefully they'll give me the big thumbs up, and we'll hopefully be at the stage where we're
yeah. So bigger and better things on the horizon.
yeah.
Stephan, how can my listeners and people watching this reach out to you and find out more about you, buddy?
Mate, they can go to my lovely website, which is www.gmanit.com.au, and they can click on the contact us link.
Yep.
And in there we've got 30-minute consoles on Zoom or phone call. So
Yes.
happy to have a chat with anyone. So
they can find you on LinkedIn, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll find me on LinkedIn. I'm not big on the whole Facebook thing. I've just started on Instagram.
YouTube.
We're actually about to launch a YouTube tips and tricks platform.
That would be awesome.
So that's sort of currently in the twos and throws at the moment.
Yes.
We do a bit of guest speaking around Melbourne as well. So
networking. You're a big networker.
Big networker.
Stephen will come to any function and network with you as long as you put on nice whiskey or nice red wine. He'll be there.
Red wine and a whiskey. I'm a happy man.
He'll be there. Buddy, you've been an awesome guest. We're going to wrap this up.
You.
Guys, if you want to have your 15 minutes of fame, just like Stephan has, come on, Stars on Spotlight. Just think, guys, it's $30,000 for a TV commercial, $5,000 for 10 radio spots. You can come on here for 15 minutes of fame, and we'll put you across LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, the whole 9 yards, guys, and we'll make you even more famous than what you are. Any last words, Stephan, before we wrap it up?
Mate, all I can say is be motivated and achieve those goals, and don't let negativity slow you down, guys.
Yeah, that's the one. Thanks, buddy.